Thank you to everybody for joining us for today's masterclass. I'm Polly Barnfield, I'm the CEO of Maybe, and we're here to talk about how we can help you unlock the power of AI. As I said, please use the Q&A in Zoom if you're watching live. If you're watching this on catch up, there'll be a blue chat button that sits on the bottom of the screen, and please use that as well. Both will get answered immediately. Love having Q&A going on as we're going through this session. We've got somebody from the wet and windy North Yorkshire. Well, I'm in Shropshire, and it's pretty wet and windy here, so yeah, I feel for you. But great to see so many people here this afternoon. So what can AI do for you? As we sort of start this session, I'd love to see in the Q&A and understand what part of your journey you are. Are you at the beginning of your journey with AI? Give yourself a 1 to 10. 1 means you literally haven't started using it. 10 means you're best buds. I'd just like to have a feel for where you are with your journey, and also there's an opportunity to participate in the sense of your business type. I'm not going to pull you on and ask you to do anything live or scary like that, but if any of you have got a business you'd like to feature as we go through here, it can remain not anonymous. It's more the type of business. If you start dropping in the Q&A, it will help me pick the right ones as we get to those points. So a little bit of work for you, I'm afraid. So what can AI do for you? Well, I have to say that we started working on it 18 months ago and it's blown me away. Today's agenda is that we're going to help you reach more customers, grow your sales, stay ahead of the competition, do better business, be more efficient. And I've got a really valuable free gift for you, but you need to stay to the end. Otherwise, no free gifts. It's fair. Who am I? Do I know what I'm talking about? Well, we've helped over 25,000 businesses connect with their customers digitally. We've worked with a whole range of clients from SMEs to PLCs and the UK government. Ironically, we started using AI with a government contract about 5 years ago. We've been tracking the sentiment of high streets up and down the country, so tracking the digital sentiment of 3.9 million businesses. So when generative AI came along, which is really what ChatGPT is, we were really well poised to sort of expand what we were doing very rapidly. It's been a really fascinating journey, and I'm very excited about what I'm going to show you today. So yeah, clients range from the UK government through to some of the smallest SMEs in the country and everybody in between. So nobody's too big or too small for us. We've got lots of very happy customers. If you want to check us out, please go and look at us on Trustpilot. We take great pride in not just delivering great tech, but in great customer service and care. And all of these webinars are about helping spread that message and help spread what we're learning to more and more people. So delighted to see lots of new faces here today. And thank you everybody for dropping their business types in here. If you drop your business types in here, you will get to have an example of how AI can work for you. So thank you. Who is today for? Well, it's for ambitious business owners and team members that want to do their best work faster. AI is not a threat. AI is something that can help us all perform better. I'm going to say that again. AI is not a threat. It's something that can help us all perform better. The trick is, how do you harness it? So as a business owner, you want to make more money and save on costs. That's our job, right? That's what we've got to do. And as an ambitious team member, you want to be able to be consistently amazing. That's how you get promotions. But ideally, you'd like to be able to get it done in less time, because that's means you get more fun things to do in life. So I think we have something that helps both of you significantly. What you'll leave with today is proven prompts, a better understanding of AI, and a very valuable free gift. But as I said before, you need to stay to the end of that. I hope I'll keep this fun and engaging, so you have no reason to leave me. But keep nudging me along in the Q&A if there's anything you'd like to hear. I love this cartoon. I want to get a big one to put up on my wall. But I feel like we're at a pivotal moment in the business world right now, which is the wheel has been reinvented. AI changes so much. I mean, it is an absolute game changer for us all. And it's not okay to say, no, thanks, I'm busy. You have to put it on your business. And ironically, we're all beginning to use it even when we don't know we're using it. Products like Google and Facebook, AI is being baked into them. But, you know, if you knowingly use AI, you really do have a choice, which is how fast do you want to go? And the ability to double, treble, or even quadruple your output as a single person, if you learn how to master AI, is enormous. It's staggering what it can do for you. But there are some rules. and some tricks and tips that we're going to go through today that make a lot of difference. So how can AI help your team achieve 80% of the output and 20% of the time? Wouldn't that be amazing? As I said, we got this free gift at the end that is not, it's something not to be sneezed at. So please stick around for it because it really is game changing. We want to help you increase the output of all of your team by at least twice. But as I said, it's quite possible to increase it by up to 5 times. And there are little tricks that I can show you today that help you understand how not only can you increase your output, but how you can actually bring in experts, whether they're alive or dead, to your everyday business and have them help you and guide you in decisions you're making. AI is so game-changing. It's not just about writing content. It has so many ramifications when you stop and think about it. It gives you the ability to ask for advice from people you can't normally reach because what they've said has been fed into AI, so you can use that information. And that is so valuable. So a couple of people raised their hands. Just want to make clear, we're asking people to use the Q&A. So I'm not responding to people to raising hands, if that's okay. If you want to talk, please put the message in Q&A and I'll answer it in there. And one of the teams will also answer in chat as well. So please, any questions in Q&A. Thank you ever so much. And if you're watching on catch up, please use the blue button and ask us questions there. Right, so how can I make such a bold claim? Why do I believe that it's possible to at least double and up to 5x people's output by using AI, and at the same time enabling them to do it quicker? Well, number one, it's all to do with prompts. Who's heard of prompts? Everybody heard of prompts? So prompts are what you use to ask AI to do stuff. Now, our journey with AI, we've been working with it with tech for quite a while, but we actually started to use it as generative AI with ChatGPT nearly 2 years ago now. So we've built up a massive backlog of ways to ask AI to do things. So I'm going to just jump off and show you what it is, because this is one of your exciting things you're going to get, if you stay to the end. You're all going to get access to our prompt Bible, which is, I don't know how long it is now. Yes, it's over 100 pages of stuff that helps you use AI to deliver stuff for you. And I'm going to show you how that works. But that's just the beginning of the journey, because I'm going to show you why there's a better way. Now, you use these prompts in products like ChatGPT, which I'm sure you all have heard of. This is the product that's absolutely changing the world. So ChatGPT, there's a free version. I'm using a paid version here at 20 bucks a month, which means you get a ChatGPT 4, which can do other clever things like read the web as well. I would strongly recommend people get it, but that's up to you. But don't buy it just yet, because the special offer at the end means you get it bundled with a whole load of other stuff. So what can ChatGPT do? Well, it can do anything. You could say, I need a recipe for fish. A recipe for fish soup. Anything I can't type by just anybody that's on the call here. I need a recipe for fish soup. It will do anything you want. So you can get, that's a prompt. That's a prompt. It's a very simple prompt. But if I said, well, actually, I need, there's a lady that does ethical and sustainable dog business, accessory businesses. Let's say I want sustainably sourced. I want it to be sustainably. I want it to be sustainably sourced and Jamie Oliver style. So immediately it's giving you a recipe, and I'm going to get into much more advanced stuff in a minute. I'm just laying the ground here. So this is a spoiler alert. So it's given me a recipe for fish soup. Boom! Straight after I've given it a 5-word prompt, and I've got a recipe for fish soup. And I'm saying I want it to be the sustainable sourced and Jamie Oliver style. That's not terribly good English, but I'm sure it'll work out for me because it's pretty smart. It will now zhuzh it up and add some more Jamie Oliver in it, so there'll be more bay leaves and more fun. Here we go. So it's worked out. Creating a sustainable fish soup recipe inspired by Jamie Oliver's cooking styles emphasising using responsibly sourced seafood and fresh organic ingredients. Jamie Oliver is known for his straightforward approach to cooking, focusing natural flavours and ingredients and making this accessible to home cooks. So do you see how I've been able to ask Jamie Oliver for advice? Just like that. That's the power of AI. And so I'm now getting another recipe for my fish soup, but it's sustainable and it's Jamie Oliver style. And we are 30 minutes into a webinar, and you didn't know you wanted a fish recipe. I didn't know wanted a fish recipe, and I've now got Jamie Oliver helping me to make a fish recipe. Get it? I think it's incredible. So why don't we take this one stage further? I'm going to pick one of these businesses. Oh my goodness. Let's have a vote. Hands up. I'm going to a short list of 3. But actually, I'll try and use all of you. I'll try and use all of you the way through. First one I've got is the first one that came in is sustainable dogs accessory business. That's a fun one. Let's try this one. Sustainable dogs accessories. Right. So it's finished writing about fish soup. By choosing sustainable ingredients and cooking with care, you can create not only a delicious meal but contribute positively to environmental conservation. Here we go. So amazing. I've got most fabulous fish soups making me hungry. But now I'm going to go and talk about something else completely. So I'm going to start a new thread. Each thread, if I kept this as my fish recipe thread, it would keep getting better and better about fish recipes. But I want to talk about something else. So I'm going to get a new thread, we're going to open up this prompt guide and use the first. And remember, there are 102 pages in here, which if you stay to the end, you're going to get all of it. I'll use the first few prompts in here, just to give you an idea of what ChatGPT does. For any of you who've seen it before, apologies, but it never ceases to amaze me what it does, because we're going to use it with a different business this time. So this is for seeding a thread. Act like a world-renowned marketing and sales expert who deeply understands human psychology and marketing. I will tell you about my company, products and services, and ideal clients. I'd like you to help me craft compelling content that instills buying beliefs and encourages my clients to buy from me. Now, the lady that popped in here, that she was sustainable dog accessories, I'm very naughty. And unless if you've got a website, would you be happy to put your website in? I won't. If you're happy to put your website in, do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go and find another one and just use it as an example. So if you want to put your web address in, do. But let's see what Google gives me. I'm just going to crack on, not now. So we're going to eco-friendly pet supplies from Ethical Pets. So I'm just going to grab this one and literally copy the content from it. See if we've got an about us page for us. No, the joys of doing things live. Joys of doing things live. Home. Something a bit better than that. What I'm looking for is a home page, eco-friendly products. I'm going to go to Doghouse. Let's see if they got a bit more. You want some more? This lady going to put us a web address. She put a web address. Haven't yet launched. No problem. Haven't no, this lady's not let launch the website. Well, I can show you how to go and write your website copy in a heartbeat. So we're going to find. Here we go. Doghouse, the nation's favourite destination for all things dog, and we'll add the word sustainable in there. So we'll copy that. We're going to come back here. We're going to make our prompt here. I'll tell you about my company, products and services and ideal clients. So we're going to say, Doghouse, no, they're very desperate for all things sustainable and dog. Here we go. So I've taken that. This is my business, sustainable dog products. I'm going to copy that and pop that in. So it's going to craft me compelling content that instills buying beliefs and encourages my clients to want to buy from me. And this product, that company is called Doghouse. So we're going to go to ChatGPT now to our new thread, pop this in here. And remember, you've all got this prompt and you'll be able to do the same for your business. To craft compelling content for Doghouse that resonates with your target audience, it's crucial to leverage the principles of human psychology and effective marketing. Understand that dog owners are not just buying products, they're investing in happiness and health of their beloved pets. Here's the strategic approach to instill buying beliefs and encourage your clients to feel compelled to purchase from you. Emphasize emotional connection, create content that visibly paints the picture of the unique bond between dog and owners. Now, it wouldn't matter whether we put dogs in here, whether we put carrots, windows, it would deliver the same kind of result. really rich information about what you should do. Now I'm going to go back to the prompt. So educate. So here we've got leverage social proof, educate and empower, create a sense of urgency and exclusivity, utilize the psychological triggers such as limited time offers, exclusive memberships, or early access to new products to make your audience feel special. It's incredible. Boom. So the lady with the sustainable dog accessories, you now have a prompt guide that you can go and borrow other people's websites and use to craft content. So I'm going to say, that's a great start. I'd like to be more specific and unique. Imagine stepping into the world of an online marketing with astute observational skills and psychological insight honed over 3 decades at the forefront of the FBI's profile division. I like a bit of fun. Your mission is to channel this unparalleled expertise into carving out the most precise target audience for, and we're going to use the same dog business. So let's just take this whole prompt here, and then we're going to fill in the blanks in ChatGPT. And I'm going to continue this conversation in the same thread because AI is starting to learn about who I am here. So pop it in here. And we will then pick up this piece of content here and pop it in. Pop that in square brackets. Put that in square brackets. Here we go. And off it goes again. It's now going to give you a piece of work that it would take weeks to do normally, and a lot of going backwards and forwards. Now, never take this as gospel. One of the things I'll show you in a minute, and something we really cover on the business intensive I want to talk to you about later, is that the AI is great at writing what I call the first draft. Always think of it as the first draft, and then you can ask for more. So I've given it this very long prompt. And then in this particularly crafted dossier, we delve into the psychological depths of Doghouse's ideal customer. This is not just a surface level exploration of demographics, but a deep psychological exploration of the fears, aspirations, and desires that drive them. Let's scalp the soul of this ideal customer, understand that every detail is not predicts, but directs their behavior towards dog cost, where sustainable canine, where sustainability meets canine well-being. So you get how deep it can go. It's really amazing. So you've now got 100 pages of prompts that you could come and use this in ChatGPT. It's amazing. But there's a problem. I'll leave this writing and come back to it, and I'll tell you what that problem is. So you've got pages and pages and pages of prompts like this that you can go and use in ChatGPT, which I'm going to give to you. It's taken us months to create them. You can create web pages, funnels, emails, sales pages. They're all tested, plan speeches, write podcasts. It's amazing. But I'm going to let into a little secret. It has its limitations, which is that every time you use it, you have to seed it, because each time you start a new chat, it doesn't know who you are. And that then leads to problems with your team, because there are more and more ChatGPT products out there. This ChatGPT is one of thousands of new AI tools, but each one is spectacular. But you have to teach it about your brand, because otherwise, as you go through this process, which is what we have to do now to capture customers, life is all about content. There are lots of little bits on the journey where you're going to have an ad, you're going to have a web page, a landing page. You've then got emails, follow-ups. Actually, I must put my hand up. Something's gone wrong with our follow-up system this week, and I think some of you have been hounded to death. I apologise, and we'll talk about that more. But each of those little processes on a digital sales journey, if you craft them all with AI, you need to make sure that they're on the same page. You need to make sure the AI understands you, so there's some continuity to it, so it all makes sense. What we specialize in is helping people do this. So, the challenge is, how do you do the content for the ads and organic and email? How do you then capture it? How do you then create the sales process, upsell and follow up, so that it doesn't feel like a game of consequences, that it feels connected? Because it's really hard. Increasingly, we've all got a mobile phone in our hand, and as a consumer, you experience something in about 30 seconds, which may have taken a business 6 months to build. I may have had about 5 different people involved in it. So it's very easy to get this disconnected experience very fast. If you throw AI into the mix with it creating incredible, and be under no illusion, incredible content. So here you go. We've got this buyer persona here. It's amazing. But if you don't put some rails around it and don't, for your whole team, understand how you're going to use it, it gets pretty racy quite quickly, because suddenly each bit of this journey sounds like something else completely fantastic, and the poor buyer's got no idea what's going on. So in a world where content is how you get attention, you know, it's lovely to see so many people on this call today, but I don't know you. But you're beginning to know me, and we reached you through content. You know, we are investing more and more and more in how we create our content, because content's how you get attention. It's how we get attention. It's how you get attention, but it's got to resonate, and it's got to ooze your brand. It's got to ooze your brand consistently, because otherwise people don't know what you're about. Thanks, Kat. So apologies for all the metaphors, but it's got to be in tune. You know, you've got to get your team singing from the same hymn sheet. It doesn't matter whether it's just you and one other person. If you're all using AI in a different way, believe me, it can get quite funky quite quickly. Now, going back to the content piece, the work we've done with about 25,000 different businesses over the past few years has taught us one thing, which is that everybody does it differently. Different things work for different people. Business is really messy. There are lots of ways of doing things and getting things right, but there are some very, very common themes that work. And they are that you've got to put in the work. I'm not gonna dress it up any other way. If you want to use digital to drive sales, you've got to put in the work. AI makes it much easier to get more content delivered well, but you've still got to be consistent. Both these brands are now doing well over 6 figures a month digitally through the work that they've done with us. They've put in the work, but if you go and look at their feeds, their content is beautifully consistent. It's, you know, they're both quite visual brands, but their content is consistent. As a customer, I understand who they are and what they do. We know that in order to deliver our service, we have to deliver extraordinary customer service. You know, we pride ourselves on 24/7 customer service and getting people an answer to any digital question within 13 seconds. And at the moment, we're on a 92% 5-star rating after those 11 seconds. And that's all about consistency. Now, AI is really good at consistency if you train it. And the big question is if. Now, we've because of the work we've done, we've realized that that's the challenges that many businesses have is there are so many tools. So what we've done is it's so many tools that are disconnected, and it's really hard, and it's just like, oh my word, where do I start? What we've done is we've pushed together all of the tools the average business needs, put it under one umbrella. And then we've smushed together, I don't know if that's a word, but it's my word of the day, smushed together AI with that, so that the AI knows how to be you. It learns from what you say, it learns from what you do, and so you don't have to keep teaching ChatGPT to be you. It just knows you're you. So whether it's writing an email, answering customer support, creating more social content, it already knows how to be you. I'm going to show you how that works. And that is linked very, very tightly to the free gift I'm going to give you at the end of this. So stick about, because it's amazing. And it's about the support. So we have one platform, all the tools with AI welded into it, and with support linked to it as well, because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to get digital comms right. And AI is fantastic, but it's not the golden bullet unless you have it integrated. So we're going to just go and look at some of the things that I'm going to give you at the end of this presentation. Staggering, I know. And I start with something quite lighthearted. It's my second webinar of the day, so I'm a bit lightheaded maybe. This is we're diving into the Maybe platform now, and it's set up for one of our customers that's very happy to let us showcase their platform. And this is for those that are just beginning on the AI journey. This is what I call it's a real easy win. We've known from the work that we've done up and down the country that one of the biggest challenges people face with their digital comms is, what do I post? what do I say? Where do I start? And so this product is quite new, actually, and we haven't done a big launch for it yet, but it is a calendar that knows every single awareness day there is in the history of the world. It knows which day it is, so it always show you which day we're on. So today is International Happiness Day, I think. Yes, International Day of Happiness. Woohoo! Who's happy? International Day of Happiness. And it will write me a post for anything I choose. So let's go for International Day of Happiness. But importantly, when it writes me the post, it doesn't just write it as just for the post. It writes it for me as 7View Home Improvements. So 7View Home Improvements are small local builders. They specialize in windows and just generally making houses beautiful for their inhabitants. So let's see how it writes a post for me for that. So this is the AI writing a post about International Happiness Day, but also doing it in the tone of 7View Home Improvement. So International Day of Happiness, embracing International Day of Happiness for embracing happiness for International Day of Happiness. At 7View Home Improvements, we believe that true happiness starts at home. Today on International Day of Happiness, we're celebrating the joy of creating spaces that bring warmth and comfort to the ultimate happiness of your loved ones. So I get lots of questions about, if you use AI, doesn't all content stay the same? What, how do you make it different? This is how you make it different, because I haven't had to do anything. I haven't set to seed this AI. This AI is learning from the client's social media, and at the moment we're baking in their websites and their blogs as well, so that all the time it's learning from what you're publishing, so that it gets better and better at being you. So here you can, and it's giving you one post. It's then saying how you could adapt it for other platforms, and it's giving an image prompt as well. So I'm sure it's not magic. I'm going to do another one. Let's do National French Bread Day. Let's go for it. So it's now going to write me a post for 7View Home Improvements for French Bread Day, and it's thinking right now about how does it link National French Bread Day with a home improvement business. And then we're going to show you how you can post this. Am I going to do that now? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah. So it's writing the post for you. I always get frustrated that it's taking time, but it's, you know what? I couldn't write that in this time, could you? Have you got any more comments? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes. So you're kidding me. I said, no, that's really how it works. Yeah, no, I couldn't write it in that time either. I agree. So here we go. At 7View Home Improvements, we believe in celebrating moments of comfort and joy, and what better way to do that than the simple pleasure of warm French bread. As we savor the delightful aroma, the taste of the classy treat, we are reminded of the importance of creating spaces that evoke the same feelings of warmth and comfort. So, it's giving, it's fun, it's engaging, and the AI has written it for you. Now, if I then say copy and post, copy and schedule, it's going to take that piece of content and drop it into their social media planner so that they can then immediately schedule it. Now, this again is a small fraction of the maybe platform, which I'm giving you at the end of this session. Must be insane. So it's taken it here. I can then go, I need to select a social account. So I'm going to say I'd like to post it to Facebook, Instagram. I'm struggling because we're streaming. Tick the box, sorry, it being a bad driver. I'm going to hit paste. Put the prompt in, so you see how it's copied all of the content across to here. I'm going to copy this AI prompt here. Here we go, copy that, and I just take out the suggestions it's made for Twitter. We're actually changing this so that it will write 4 different prompts for all the different social channels. Isn't that amazing? Now, if I think that's really nice, I haven't got time, we haven't got, 7View Home Improvements haven't got an image for French bread. So just a word to point, if you've got a media library, your media library will be all sat there, so you could just upload things here. But if you haven't got that, come on. If you haven't got that baked in, you can just create an AI image. So go here, create image using AI. And you can all play with this for your own brands. After this, you can create your account and you'll be able to do this. So generate an image of beautifully renovated kitchen or living space with rustic bread. So you see it's written an image prompt. Let's do that. Watercolor, create 2 of them. Let's generate it all. So it's created a prompt that a prompt is how you tell AI what to do, how to do stuff. It's created a prompt that is linked to the business. So again, for your business, if let's say let's take the dog lady, for example, her image would have dogs around it. Now, I didn't know I was going to create a post about French bread. I'm now creating have a post about French bread that is relevant to a home improvements person. You can do it in different styles. It's incredibly simple, and it's improving all the time. I think that's pretty good. What do you think? Yes. I've got a question here. Somebody saying that's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So can you do different styles of images? Yes, you can. So when you're creating the image, you can say, I'd like to create an image using photography or watercolor, all sorts of different styles. There's a question on hosting that somebody asked actually. What I'll do is that the gentleman is asking about hosting. Yes, we can do hosting. Let me just grab that and we will come back to you on that rather than going through that on this call. But yes, we can definitely help you with that. So can you create images for all social media channels? Yes. Can you schedule reels and all those things? Yes, absolutely. But the AI will help you create content. So you've got an AI writer here. You can also use AI writing to change the tone, make it shorter, make it longer with everything, every kind of social post. So AI is absolutely woven into every part of the platform, which you are gonna have a free go of. So now the next bit, which I think is really important to see, is that I've shown you ChatGPT and it is amazing. But it's even more amazing when you put it inside a platform and make it learn your brand. Now, I've shown it with our sort of fun product, which is creating social posts based upon days of the year. But imagine when you connect it to your brand and then teach it to do some very specific tasks. And that's what personalized AI is. It is another section of the Maybe platform that you're all going to have access to, which lets you literally ask really in-depth jobs of ChatGPT. It lets you take all of the prompts that I've given you this big long book here, but actually they're baked in to the platform. So we've got all of those big long prompts are baked into here. So if you said I want to improve my brand, let's say for example I want to do brand voice development, define our brand voice. This is going to tell you how the AI sees you. So it's a really good sense check to then understand that's how the AI sees you based upon the content you're publishing right now. So if you want to go and write more, you think, oh gosh, we need to address this. So as a branding expert, it's crucial to find a brand voice that resonates with your target audience. For 7-View home improvements, consider the following key characteristics to define your brand voice. Warmth, approachability. So it's telling you exactly what you're doing. Highlight commitment to the community. Cool. So we're happy that they're on message here. Now we go and find something else. Let's go and write some content. Let's go and say we'd like to write some Instagram content, some LinkedIn content, professional LinkedIn posts. It's now going to start writing me professional LinkedIn posts. Now it looks here like it's just a 3-word prompt, but what's sitting behind here is one of those monster prompts that I copied into ChatGPT. Yeah. So certainly, here's some ideas for LinkedIn posts that would help establish 7-View home improvements as a thought leader in the industry. Education infographics, case studies and success stories, industry trends analysis, collaboration highlights, thought leadership article, engage in industry conversations, employee spotlights. Well, they're all fun. I quite like the idea of industry trend analysis. So if we took that one as an example and said, we like this example, please expand. Please expand into a series of LinkedIn posts. Sorry, really bad typist. Expand into a series of LinkedIn posts. So that's the first thing I've had to enter. Do you see that? Whereas, do you see how much work I was doing with ChatGPT? And most importantly, every time I use it, I've got to go back and make sure I've got it up to date. Here we go. So absolutely, here's how the provided example can be expanded into a series of LinkedIn posts to establish 7-View home improvement as a thought leader in the industry. 5 materials for modern home renovations, content, eye-catching infographics showing sustainable building materials, caption. Yeah, and I like that one, but I don't think that's big enough yet. So they've given me some ideas, but they're still not okay. So I say I like this one, but can you make it much bigger? I like this one. Sorry, I'm shouting at you. Don't mean to be shouting at you. I like this one. Please can you expand the creative brief and write a long form post and hashtags. Please expand the creative brief. Now, what's written behind each of these prompts is please act as a social media expert. If you're asking it to write blog posts or press releases or web pages, each one is saying to it, please do it as that type of person. So you've now got a social media expert writing for you. So certainly below is an expanded creative brief for the chosen topic, followed by long form LinkedIn post and a set of relevant hashtags. Creative brief. 5 sustainable materials of the modern home renovations. Objective to educate and inspire our audience about sustainable building materials, showcasing 7View improvements as a leading advocate for eco-friendly home renovations. Highlight 5 sustainable materials that align with our brand's commitment. So you've now got a beautiful brief to give to an agency or your in-house creative, or to use AI to write it. You've then got a long-form LinkedIn post titled "Build a Greener Living Better 5 Minutes of Modern Home Renovations." That's a really great post. I like that. So got the 5 materials by incorporating sustainable products into your home renovations, not only enhance beauty function of living space at 7View, we're passionate. And so it's giving huge value to the audience and taking minimal time for you to create, but you're totally in charge of it. So for everybody that says, I just create a bit bland content, well, it does create bland content if you don't teach it how to be you. What we are doing is teaching the AI how to be you. Then you get to drive it and get what you want from it. So you can now say, for example, I like this. I like this a lot. Thanks. I'm always polite. I like this a lot. Thanks. Please create a much longer blog to sit alongside this that expands on each of the materials. So you don't need to be an AI expert to do this. You need to be an expert on your business. And what you've got is somebody that's creating content for you unbelievably fast. You can then look at it as a customer and think, how does that work? So here you've written a long post and you say, great. Now this is the key prompt that you need to know. Great. Now, acting as a potential customer, how would you react to this piece of content? So you're now turning around the other way and basically mystery shopping your own content, react to this content. Now mystery shopping that content before react. How you're now mystery shopping it, you're testing it before you even publish it. So get ChatGPT inside maybe, or wherever you're using it, to read it for you. So as a potential customer, I'd find this blog to be incredibly informative and inspiring. It demonstrates 7View home improvements, genuine commitment to environmental responsibility and sustainability design, which resonates with my own values as a homeowner. The detailed exploration of each sustainable material not only educates me on eco-friendly options for my home, but renovations, but showcases the company's expertise in this area. The emphasis on the history and the character of reclaimed wood, elegance of recycled glass countertops, and the resilience of bamboo flooring, the comfort provided by core insulation, and the durability of recycled metal roofing all provide me with valuable insights into the sustainable options for my home. This content not only positions 7View as a leader in sustainable home improvements, but empowers me as a potential customer to make informed choices. So, it's allowing you to create content incredibly quickly, but also it's allowing you to check really fast, is that content relevant to me? It's so valuable. So I've got a couple of questions coming in. I'll hit them all at once, actually. Well, I think that's amazing. I'd love to see what you think. Yes, you like that. Okay, so how does it affect platform's algorithm? Well, if you just use it to, so the first prompt I asked it to write, which was write me a fish recipe, that's thin prompting. Yeah, that was being very lightweight. What's happening here is this is very in-depth. Now, if you're using it really, really, really well, the platforms don't mind it at all. We create a lot of blog content and we use AI a lot, and our traffic from Google is doubling every month. We are using AI in everything we create, but we're using it like I've just shown you. We're using it to we've crafted it based upon around our brand. We've then deeply prompted it. We probably go through 3 or 4 iterations, and then we ask it as a customer, how would I review it? So sometimes it will say, the customer will say this, so improve it. Now, what is AI at the end of the day? Because I don't know about you, but I let Grammarly check all my emails. Well, that's AI. So I would be very careful about making a sweeping statement about platforms not liking an AI-generated content. So in my view, there will be very little content that doesn't have AI in part of it somewhere. So don't let that block you getting started. The key to it is using it as a tool that delivers work that you are incredibly proud of. If you read it and think, my word, I've done a good job, then you're doing it well. I've had, and the reason that we've created this platform actually is because I was so frustrated with some of our team using AI sort of in a very lightweight sense. And you could look at it, you could see it a mile off that it's written by AI because it didn't know how to be us. And so we are heavily invested in enabling each one of you to have an AI that knows how to be you, and that's the difference. More questions about as each platform offers a greater interaction with specific targeted customer, would the content created be the same for all social media platforms connected, or would the content be adapted differently for each one? Great question. So if we come back to our prompts, for example, write great content. You see here where we're saying write great content for Facebook, for Instagram, for TikTok, for LinkedIn, for Google. Sat behind the prompt for each one will be something that will say this content is for Snapchat, so that it doesn't write long content. So I'm not a great Snap user, but let's see what happens here. I can Snapchat engagement story innovations. Let's do story innovations. So the prompt that sits behind this will be told it's for Snapchat, therefore it will write the content that's relevant for that platform, and particularly for the maybe ads manager, which we're going to touch on in a minute. Same thing there. It's the AI is taught to write for that platform. It's mind blowing. I know. I'm totally blown away by it. But it's don't get hung up about it being AI. Think of it as being the best version of you. This knowledge exists everywhere. All AI is doing is making it possible for you to put your hands on it. So here are some innovative Snapchat story concepts tailored to showcase your brand's personality and connect with your audience. See how nice and short they are. They're not long form because that's what Snapchat is, right? Each prompt, it's taking so much of the work out of it because each of these prompts are written specifically for you. And this is what we're investing in, is making sure that we can help you get the answer you want. So not only do we know how to be you, we know how to be you and generate the content for the platform you want. So I hope that's answered questions. Yeah, thanks for all the lovely feedback. Yeah, I know it's amazing. Don't be overwhelmed. This is the way not to be overwhelmed because you can't break it. And when you get stuck, you just click this blue button here and we answer your questions. But I'll do more on that in a moment. So, introducing maybe AI. This is where we have invested a lot of time. As I said to you a moment ago, and show you, I'll answer a question. Actually, I'll just come back here. So, anytime you get stuck, you can ask us a question and go, I need help creating Snapchat ads. See what happens? I need help creating Snapchat ads. Creating Snapchat ads. And then you're going to get responded to by, you guessed it, AI. If the AI hasn't got an answer, and the AI is learning from all of the articles that we have written, and all of the articles we have written are based upon the 25,000 businesses we have helped. So I've just asked a question I've never asked before, so I've got no idea what response I'm going to get back. Always makes me nervous when I do this. Look at that. To create Snapchat ads, you'll need an active Snapchat ads account. Here are the steps to create one. Go to list it all out. For more details, check our article, How to Create Snapchat Ads Account. Now, alternative to this is you go to YouTube and you start YouTubing this, and you get distracted, and suddenly you find you've got 2 hours lost because you've got distracted about where you're going. Here, you will get immediate help. You'll get your answer, and if you think still got no flipping idea, you can book in for daily help. We're here 24/7 on chat, and we're here every day at 11 o'clock to provide help. So AI is the product we deliver, but it's also the product we use to deliver great service. So whatever question you've got, the AI will answer you within about 13 seconds. And if anybody wants that for their business too, well, we can show you how to do that, but we're not giving you that for free. Fair enough? Back to the slideshow. So, yeah, masses of videos. You got more help than you shake a stick at, all including the free offer I'm going to give you. You've all got access to lovely things like a scheduler, just the same as Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout, except it's got more AI sprinkled in it than anybody else. It covers every platform out there. The most amazing ads platform that uses AI to write the ads for you, choose on the ad placement, again, with all the help welded in. Sorry about my picture, but you've got tools to build funnels, again, with AI welded in throughout it. You've got automations. You've experienced bad automation today. Our bad, my sorry. Something went wrong and we've sent too many communications out today. That wasn't AI, that was a simple plumbing issue. We are actually working on not having any funnels at all and having AI sit here and deal with it all straight out the bat. So yeah, watch this space. You can have this too. And don't be overwhelmed because you've got a way that makes it really easy. And you've also got a pipeline. I'm far too old now, but I wish somebody had told me sooner the value of getting your opportunities into a pipeline and linking it with automation AI, because it is blowing my brain. It's growing our business faster than you can possibly imagine, because literally we can see where people are stuck in the pipe and what we need to do to them today to help us get to the goal, both to serve people better, but also to make more sales. And you will have access to the same thing. On-demand reporting for every channel you can imagine is all included in the same platform, all with the AI help. And you will never be stuck for words or images again, because you've got all the tools you need. One question I was asked today, which is, can you add the picture of people's faces onto the images? You can't do that here. I'm afraid that is a manipulation you need to do elsewhere, but it is possible. I'm afraid ours is just good old plain straightforward, add a prompt, get an image back at the moment, but I'm sure it will improve. It always is improving. We've got some really exciting releases coming up very soon. So you've got all of this under one roof. And the key thing is it knows how to be you. I just want to reinforce that again, which is that it knowing how to be you is what's so mind-blowing. Because you can do that in ChatGPT, but it's so hard. And I promise you, not all your team will do it. And then suddenly you end up with this horrific screech in the corner of the room because your voice is wrong. This is absolute brand gold, and I would love you all to try it. It is totally game-changing. Our team are constantly having calls from clients at the moment saying, it's changed my world, and I want you to experience it too. And I said at the beginning, how do you 5x your output? You ask an expert, and built into your AI is the ability to ask Steve Jobs, tell me what you think you're doing, tell me how I'm doing. Ask Gary Vaynerchuk or Alex Hormozy. You can go and ask the AI, what would Steve Jobs do to improve this offer? How would Alex Hormozy make this so brilliant that nobody will say no to me? Anybody that's written lots of books, ChatGPT has read their books, and you can ask it to apply that to what you're writing. That terrible English, never mind. It's just incredible. Rather than reading the whole book, listen to the audio, get an idea of what it's about, think, yeah, they talk some good sense, and then ask the AI here, do you know about Gary Vaynerchuk? You'll say yes, and you say, right, can you apply his thinking to what I'm doing? What do you think? That is extraordinary. And the other top tip is ask what your customer will think. And if you're not sure who the customer is, ask the AI to tell you. And yeah, it's all inside the Maybe platform, knowing how to be you. And do not underestimate how different that is. It's just incredible. So that's how you get to be 5x and ask the experts. It's how you don't get to feel like this. The solution is the Maybe AI Power platform that takes guesswork out of connecting with customers digitally. It's got all of the channels that you need to be active on in it. Do you need to be active on all of them right at once? No. But do you need to get good at this? Yes, you do. Our customers, no matter whether you're B2B, B2C, are all getting more digital by the minute. And as a business owner, it is flipping terrifying to try and keep up with it. We believe that putting it all under one roof, and let me be very clear, we have white labeled some of the best products out there. But we have integrated them so that you can use them under one roof, log in once, access it once, and then have AI layered over the top of it that knows who you are. So you don't have to think, oh gosh, the AI doesn't know who I am. It knows. And you've got 24/7 help bolted on with an expert that can help you all of the time. You are not going to go and get stuck. There's a question here about your IP and data stored. Yeah, your data is all stored securely in the cloud. Where the data is stored is a billion-dollar company. It's all completely safe, and your IP. That's a really good point, actually. The IP with using the AI inside our platform is much safer than using it if you use it in ChatGPT. If you put your information into ChatGPT, you're putting it into the public world. You're putting it into the open domain. So be very careful about what you put into ChatGPT. If you put it inside, maybe it is locked in a walled garden. It's yours. It's safe. It's secure. Nobody else is going to use it. The AI is not being trained on your data. It's not learning how to be you. It's not in the same way that I said to you, you can ask it to be Gary Vaynerchuk or Steve Jobs. It's not learning how to be you. It's not learning how to be Polly Barnford. How scary would that be? So it's not learning that. It's locked inside a walled garden that's safe. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, we aim to please. Thank you. So yeah, everything under one roof. And what I am passionate about is this whole process of how do you take content, whether it be ads, organic posts, email, and take people through a process. Because in order for anybody to part with money these days, you've got to give a whole bunch of value first. It doesn't matter really what business you're in. You've got to demonstrate that you're going to deliver on the goods, and you do that through great content. You capture attention. You then sell, whether it's online, in person, or on the phone, or through webinars. You then get upsell, and then you've got to follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. People don't just touch and buy. They need to feel like it's going to work for them. And each bit of this journey is a little piece of the puzzle that you can create with AI, but it must be in tune, like we said, like the orchestra. I'm offering you to be able to try all of this for free, as long as you stick about. But it's also a bit daunting, because none of us have got hours to spare. You can use AI to automate your content creation. You can translate content. Oh, I didn't talk about that. You can translate anything to any language. So we've got clients that are translating everything we do. So we work with a number of councils, and they translate everything from English to Welsh each post. We've got another lady who translates all of our incoming messages because they come in Spanish. She can't speak Spanish, translates them and then translates back again. All of that is baked in the platform. And you get AI to write your ads across all the channels, and write ads that work because it understands channels, access all the tools you need in one place. But the big question is, where on earth do you start, and how do you glue it all together, and how do you kind of work out this new modern world? Because you'll sit here thinking, yeah, this sounds perfectly, this makes lots of sense. But actually, when you sat down on a cold night of day and have to do it all by yourself, it feels quite scary. So we've built a 6-week online course that holds your hand through creating the digital sales process using AI tools. It's got weekly learning sessions and daily and specialist catch-ups. You can join those 11 o'clock sessions. You learn how to use AI and automation to transform your business, and everything is in one place, no matter what platforms you already use. So it may be that some of you already are using somewhere to host your websites, that you've got email on MailChimp, and maybe you're using Hootsuite to do your social. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Doesn't matter. If you choose to go ahead with Maven, I hope you do. You can leave some of the stuff there. You can use the AI here. I believe you'll save an enormous amount of cash in the long run by becoming a client of us, because you can kill a whole raft of other subscriptions. But you don't have to make that change straight away. You can just use the AI and copy and paste it somewhere else. But our aim is to say to you, you've got everything you need under one roof, and you've got expert help 24/7, because I know how utterly infuriating it is not getting the answers that you need. Sorry, there are a couple more questions coming in. So somebody asking, so business intensive, can we access recordings for this and other sessions? Yes, all recordings are sent to you. Absolutely, everything we do, we send the recordings out. So the business intensive covers 6 key topics, and they're designed to help you. I've given you a little taster of AI in marketing. We go much deeper. How you can personalize communication with AI, how to use content management, so CRM tools. At the end of the day, what's the point of sending out ads if you don't turn those people into contacts that you can contact again and again and again? We've got an awesome session on automating marketing and business processes. So how do you make sure that somebody that registers something gets all the right follow-up emails, follow-up text, not to make the mistake we've made today, sorry, and actually be aware of the risk of getting it wrong, how you do it legally, ethically, all those things. Optimizing social media ad campaigns. We've got 2 experts who are just spectacular in the information they share. They've both been responsible for helping a number of businesses hit multiple naught months. I mean, huge. And then generally putting it all together. The idea of the business intensive is it gives you context that you can dive into. And so I want to dive deep into this section and learn more about it. So yes, you've got all of our sessions, but sometimes you just want to absorb the content, and the content's all there. We've got lots of experts come in. We had a session, one of them, for example, the optimizing social media channels. We'll show you how to create 50 social media posts in Canva in about 2 minutes. Incredible. So how you create it in AI, and then how you then actually create the visuals in Canva from the text. Lots of tips and tricks that just make it super simple to absolutely smash it out the park. We charge. So somebody's asked me, what's it cost? Well, if you go to the platform and try and buy go to marketeers.com and try to buy the platform, you've got 3 choices, which is you've got a social plus plan, which is £97 a month, which is just the social media tools. You've got the business plan, which is £197 a month, which is everything. And then you've got enterprise if you've got lots of people and lots of contacts, or you want something bespoke building. And we do lots of really clever plans there. We just might to change our pricing structure. But anybody that signs up today is going to get access to something rather special. So anybody that signs up today is going to be able to use our platform for free for 30 days. They're going to get access to all of the business intensive and everything else I've just talked about. And you're getting access to a new account, which is it's called a starter account, which will be going live in the next few weeks. And the starter account gives you all of the tools, not just the social media tools. It gives you everything for 2 people. If you want to have more, so the business account gives you more people. If you want more than that, then we'll talk to you about how you can have more than that. But if you would like today, you can get access to the business intensive and the new starter account that gives you access to all of the tools for £97 a month after the 30 days free trial. But you do need to sign up today, because it's not going to work for everybody. So if you want to have a 30-day trial of everything I've just showed you, please go to marketeers.com/30. You'll have access to business intensive and everything I've demoed today. Everything, no horse barred. Go to marketeers.com/30 and you can get access to all of that. A couple of people saying, can they have more people? Yes, yeah, we can make that happen. But don't let that block you today. Just get signed up and we can sort that out. It comes with a complete one-on-one onboarding that we do during the free trial, so it's all set up for you. You'll have a session with our team, and they'll point you in the direction of all of the one-on-one sessions as well. the daily sessions to make sure you get the absolute most out of your trial. So when you get to the point where the monthly 97 kicks in, or if you've needed to upgrade to a large one, you want more people, you'll be fully informed. We're not, we want you to use it and be happy. It's 30 days free of everything. Yes, you'll get everything I've shown you today. You'll get access to for 30 days. You have to put your credit card in the slot, normal gig, to get the 30 days access. But if you want to cancel it, you can, no problem at all. Choice is yours. I believe the train is leaving the station. You need to put your wheels on. You need to bolt them on, and that's what we're about. It's about helping you put the AI wheels on your business, because it's moving so fast, peeps. You really want to be at the forefront on it, not trying to catch up. Please claim your place on the business intensive so you can master the AI and automation. You've got 6 topics that you'll be able to access. You can only get access to the 30-day trial and the business intensive via this call. We've got some existing clients on the call as well, and if you haven't got the business intensive in your account, we will add it in, so that you only get access to business intensive if you come to one of the mastermind sessions. And everybody you can't buy this offer off our website. Anybody that's here today, this is the only way. You can't go to the website later and get it. So please, any questions or challenges about getting signed up, please let me know. Questions coming in. Yeah, we'll go through this. I'll just finish the deck, and so if some of the clients might want to pop off, but if you want to stay on and ask about the buying process, or got any questions on it, just stay on and we'll go through that. So I want to introduce you to our team. These are a few of the lovely people that will be responding to your questions. We've got a range of specialisms from CRM to AI, to customer service, social, ads, and you'll have access to everybody during your free trial. And obviously, if you remain and be a customer as well, we are here to serve. If you go and read our Trustpilot reviews, what you'll see is not only is it great tech, but it's great people. And people name people in Trustpilot, which doesn't happen very often, because we really get invested in your businesses. And if you're on the fence and thinking, well, this can't be so good, I'd just like to reassure you that if after utilising maybe tools for a year, you go, oh, I still can't make it work, we'll give you full refund. It's that simple. We are invested in helping you get this right. I think we're at a really exciting point in the business world, but I do think it's also incredibly difficult to get this right. And we believe by putting everything under one roof, by providing the 24/7 help, and by baking AI into it, we give every smaller business that doesn't have just a gigantic budget an opportunity to really get this right. It's about baking personalized AI into every channel. It's about your email, it's about your social media, it's about your funnels, about your websites, and then having a channel that you can deliver it through. Everything you need is all under one roof here. You don't have to move things you've already got in other places. That's your choice. But if you choose to do that, it will save you an absolute fortune in the long run. But you can do that step by step. So please try have it on us. Have 30 days free of the AI, the platform, everything, by going to maybetech.com/30 and signing up. Got a few people raising their hands. If you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat, and I will answer them. So not in the chat, go to the Q&A and ask a question. And see a few people saying they've got through the sign-up process. That's amazing. Sam, if you would like to, the lady from Yahoo, would you like to pop the message in Q&A and I'll answer it here for you? I see Fred's gone through. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. There's lots of, I see another one says yes, they've gone through. Just another question on the translation. Somebody's asking about does the AI translate? Yes. So you can, what I was showing you, sorry, I whizzed through because we were running short on time. If you want to translate into any language, you can absolutely ask it to do that, and it will do it both ways. So you can go to English and then back to French or whatever, whichever you want. It's incredibly tolerant. So are you saying if you do this, you don't need to buy ChatGPT? Yeah, I am. So ChatGPT is $20 a month. That's another thing you don't want to buy. So if you actually tot it up and think what you can save with, maybe if you're on the £97 a month plan, once you go past your 30 days, You can get rid of social media scheduling, you can get rid of email marketing, you can get rid of CRM. All of those things live under our roof. So if you're already paying for lots of things and you want help to upload your contacts and things like that, pass the trial, you can do that, but there won't be other charges. We don't charge rebilling on the £97 account. Rebilling is the usage of things like email and text, but we do on the business account. So once you start adding more data, there's rebilling charges, which means that for every email you send, you get a small charge, but it's pennies. I mean, it's $10 for 10,000 mails or something crazy. So it's not big bucks. Some more questions coming in. So somebody asked you about they've got a company running social media and website. Do you get rid of them? No, I wouldn't say get rid of them. I'd say you switch to this tool. So if you, from your perspective, if you've got people running, the challenge you often have is people are running services for you that means you can't really understand how well they're doing, and sometimes it's quite hard to make it clear what results you're getting for the money you're investing. The value of putting everything under one roof is you can suddenly tie all the data points together and say that £10 I spent there, have I got a client? Or I spend 100 quid and I can see 50 new clients in my CRM. That's amazing. I need to spend much more money on those ads. It's that whole bit of getting rid of the grey. And not only that, if you use the AI as I've shown you, you can make sure that your agency, your team, everybody's speaking the same language to your customers. And that is the real power. We've got some really big new releases coming out in the future, which lets you create prompts, instructions for the AI to let certain people have access to certain things. So, for example, if you're creating executive reports, you could maybe lock those away and say, I don't want everybody to see those, just I see those, but I want my whole team to be able to see this, all of these template prompts for customer service. So, what we've always done in the past is create standard documents for certain things you want to answer. But now in this world of AI, you can start to say, well, actually, I'd like AI to answer my customer service calls. So just imagine if your AI can answer all your customer service, we now have one person running customer service, which would have taken the job of 7, but I've got 7 content writers. So, I haven't taken away jobs, I've moved them around, but my content writers are getting the AI to tell them, is this solving the customer's problem? So you'll notice when I used our customer service AI, I asked for a question about Snap ads. I was a little bit nervous because that's what I haven't asked before. And it came back to me with the right answer. And that's what AI is helping us do. We write the content, but we get AI to mark it for us. We then get AI to improve it. So this whole business of people saying AI is, people, platforms don't like it, or you can see that it is, absolutely they can do that. It would be like having somebody on your team that writes bad copy. If you didn't say, oh no, you need to improve that, you need to work with them on it. So what works really well is just making AI part of your team, but most importantly, getting AI trained on your brand and then giving all of your team those tools, because then you all get better. So as regards the agency question, they might push back a bit because you'll look like you're doing your job for them. We're working with more and more agencies to help them use these tools because they can do your jobs better, but they can also start to push the boundary out more, which is to start to think how they can help you to, for example, automate customer service or whatever it is. So I think with all of this, the opportunity is to be the company that embraces it and starts doing things better, being smarter. Because if you don't, your competitors will. So yes, it can be a way to cut costs, but it can be most importantly a way to get more and get more from your team, get more from your agencies. If you'd like to ask me any more questions about that, around how to handle that, I'd be very happy to help that. I tend to run the Wednesday webinars we do. I'm increasingly doing those much more about AI. I think we've got a special one this week on retail, but yeah, I have an open door session as well. So please, if you've got any questions about how you would sort of ask your agency to change the tool they're using, by all means, come and ask. And there was a gentleman earlier on asking about hosting. We'll come back to you as well. You're saying you could use this as an agency. Oh, that's a good question. If you are a smaller business and you're doing it all yourselves, then this will help you maybe go further without an agency. If you're already using an agency, then I would encourage your agency to use this because it will make them deliver more for your your value. I would never, you can get much more done with this. And whether you're doing it internally or whether you're doing an agency, you both should be using it because it will mean the work is better. It's about how do you get your best work done faster. That means that you can spend the same and get more. There's no reason not to be using it, whether it's internal or as an agency. But most importantly, as an agency and as a client relationship, you want to ensure that you all have access to the same data source. What I see a lot of times is businesses not really having sight of the data, so they don't know what their money is getting them. And what you get with Maybe is total transparency. You can see I've invested £100, £1,000, £10,000, and have I got customers? Because at the end of the day, that is what matters. So the pipeline slide that I showed you earlier on is about being able to say, right, we've run our ads, we've got these many leads, and then these are the things that we have to take them through in order to get them to be customers. And actually, if you've spent your £100 on ads and you've got 100 customers and they're not moving through the process, then probably you can then say to the agency, but why aren't we doing some retargeting? Why aren't we doing a piece of content to get those people moving through the funnel? Otherwise, you can have very fluffy conversations that don't actually say, how do I get more sales? Because sales are all about that diagram I showed you right at the beginning, which is content, capture, sell, and then upsell and follow up. And this is all about making all of those things live under one platform. If you're using an agency, it's very likely that those things live across probably 20 or 30 different platforms. And that means that everybody goes, oh, well, maybe. Another question, if we were an agency, can we use multiple clients? 100% yes. So within the Maybe account, you can drop down and you can basically, you can have it, you can have 50 clients on it. It's amazing for that. So yeah, if you're an agency, absolutely get in touch. We can tell you how that works. If you want to buy the deal, that's fine. But multiple accounts, we can set you up and make that work. We've got lots of agency clients using it because it makes them, get more done. And yeah, happy to do that. Another agency saying, we'd love to do that. Yes, it's a game changer for agencies that want to get more done quickly. It's an absolute game changer. Yes. Lots of people saying they're really excited. Lots of people saying they're signing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love that. Any specific questions I can answer? That's all looking good. Would we be able to run this ourselves? Yes, look, I'm not trying to get anybody sacked here. With everything in life, you've got the right tools, you can do things well. It is a platform that transforms the way you think about communication, and you've got all the support you need. We are not an agency. We are here to support agencies, their clients, all clients who want to do it themselves. I would absolutely recommend you get the free trial, come to some training and understand the art of the possible. What is game changing about this is being able to see the whole relationship with a client from content creation through to them becoming a customer and a repeat customer. And I wish somebody had shown me something like this 30 years ago, because the time it saves me as a business owner is extraordinary. We can now sell across multiple time zones, in multiple places, and we have a process and we understand exactly where our clients are. We understand when we spend X, we get Y. If we don't, we look at it. Today, we discovered there's too many comms were going out. We understand why that happened. Business is really messy. AI is making it better, but it also risks making it messier unless you have a process. And what we are committed to is helping businesses transform their communication by having a process and a system to run it through. I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too, and I'd love to help you all do that. You've been an amazing crowd. Thank you so much for all of your positive feedback. I hope you've got value from this. We will send the recording out. And for all of those that you've signed up as a client today, thank you so much. We will be pushing the business intensive into account. Once you've had your onboarding session, it's really important for us to get your onboarding session booked up. So make sure that as you go through the sign up, that you book your onboarding session, because we don't want to confuse you with too many other information until you've done that. So you'll have 3 steps. You'll go through a sign up, then you'll put your credit card in, which will not be charged for 30 days, and then you book your onboarding session. Please book your onboarding session as soon as possible, because we want to get you set up so you get the maximum value out of your 30-day trial. And as I said, everything that we talked about is available in a 30-day trial. It's not, the 30-day trial doesn't give you a sort of semi-cut down version or anything. It gives you the full fat. It's all there. Get on with it. We're so confident that you'll love it, that we know you'll stay. And we're so confident you love it, we didn't give you a full 1 year's guarantee on it. I couldn't be fairer than that. So please crack on and buy it. I've been talking all day now, so I'd like to go get a cup of tea. If everybody's happy, I'm going to shut this down. You've been the most amazing audience. Thank you for all that lovely feedback. You have to get sent in the morning session. All the prompts. Somebody's asking about the prompts. The prompts will get sent tomorrow with the prompts will get sent tomorrow. The prompts will get as soon as you've signed up. So as soon as you get signed up, the prompts get sent out. You don't have to wait for the onboarding for that. They'll get sent out straight away. But please do book your onboarding sessions, because we won't release the business intensive to you until you have done that, because otherwise it gets confusing. So prompts you're going to get straight away, and then the business intensive once you've done your onboarding session. Onboarding is one-on-one, and yeah, we look forward to getting you all set up. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. Thank you. Shall PM with you? So DM me with more questions. Yeah. Anybody wants to get hold of me? I'm polly@maybetech.com. You've got the wider team there, help@maybetech.com. We don't hide behind things. And remember, once you get inside your platform, use that blue button. Don't be sparing with it. It answers you 24/7. So never, ever be stuck. Use the blue button. It's far more responsive than I am. And it very rarely misses a beat. If it does, you've asked us a question we don't know, which we'd love as well, because that means we can go and answer that question and create more content for it. Thank you all so much.